Almost Human. All right. I'm Tony Timpone from Fangoria. You know, we do these things on a regular basis, and none more exciting than the movie you are about to see tonight. It's a real throwback to 80s style horror sci-fi. Yeah. And many of the filmmakers are in the house with us tonight. Let's bring up a couple of the actors first. Graham Skipper, let's hear it for Graham. Josh Ether, let's hear it for Josh. And writer-director Joe Vegas, let's hear it for Joe.
Hey everybody. Hey. Are you guys fucking excited for some alien action? Look at all you fucking movie maniacs in here at 9 p.m. and a 10-degree fucking Wednesday night. This is awesome. So I'm gonna make this quick so we can get into the movie. The movie's really brisk, but I want to get up here for Q&A afterwards. We just wanted to make a super fucking gory throwback with our friends in the vein of Bad Taste and Evil Dead and fucking movies like that. So we just said, fuck it, we loaded our car up with equipment and we drove back home and we shot this movie and we splattered a lot of fucking blood around and we had a good time. So we made this movie for the Fangoria crowd, so the fact that we have 200 people who are Fangoria fans in here is So, without further ado, here we go. Yeah. Well, actually, hold on, I'm sorry. Wait.
I want to take a picture of this, because this is fucking
awesome. I'm going to take a selfie. I'm sorry, guys.
Scream, go crazy! That's awesome. This is the upside down pose. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck yeah.
You guys got anything to say?
Keep that energy up for this entire movie. Just get very, very loud and excited and just yell and scream and have a good time. Yeah, fucking enjoy it.
And stick around for the Q&A. We're going to have your chance to win some really cool stuff, including a rare VHS copy of the movie. And there'll be some more posters. For those who didn't get Almost Human posters, we're going to have some more posters. So stick around for the Q&A. You don't want to miss it. Let's hear it again for the guys. Enjoy Almost Human. On the film, Joe Vegas.
What do you guys think?
So, Joe, tell us about the genesis of the film.
The genesis was I had been making shorts. Well, me and Josh have been making shorts for quite a while, and we're trying to get a feature made in LA. You know, just trying to get a couple $100,000 together, and it was a fucking pain in the ass. Everybody, you know, nobody would let you do what you want. Nobody wanted to listen to some kid who had never made a movie before. So, like I said, we just decided to go do it ourselves. And, you know, we grew up in this town, and it looks like it's pulled right from a Stephen King book, so we figured, what better place to film a horror movie? So, you know, I had an obsession with alien abductions, and I had an obsession with splatter movies, and I had an obsession with slasher movies, and once the idea of doing an alien abduction slasher movie hit me, that was it. That's what I went forth with.
Talk about some of the inspirations for the film. Of course, I saw a lot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers in there, especially the Scream and Evil Dead, et cetera, et cetera. Am I missing any?
The Terminator was actually a big influence structurally and for Josh's character and performance. The Thing was a big influence. And Evil Dead, I mean, those are probably the big three. I think Body Snatchers another one. Definitely those. It was mostly just like a kitchen sink hodgepodge of everything that had been invading my mind since I was 9, and I had been wanting to put into a movie, and it kind of just exploded into this one script that, you know, it's like if I never make something else, well, at least I got all my fucking desires on screen.
So how did you guys hook up with Joe?
I've known Joe since high school. We started making shit like this on the weekends as opposed to doing homework. And then we actually started handing in these as homework, which got us in a little bit of trouble every once in a while, but it was fun. And then Joe and I moved to LA in 2008, and then for about 3 years he worked with Stuart Gordon and I actually worked for the editor of Jeepers Creepers for that time. And so the whole time we were there, sort of just honing our specific skills and crafts, and in doing so, Joe met Graham on Reanimated the Musical, who played Herbert West.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I met Joe on Reanimated the Musical, working under the amazing Stuart Gordon, and you know, I've been a horror fan my whole life, and I thought I knew about horror movies until this guy, you know, comes in with like obscure like Belgian horror films, like going, oh, you gotta check this out, and we became fast friends. And at some point, you know, someday he came up to me and goes, hey, so I'm writing this like alien abduction splatter movie, and he hadn't even gotten to the word movie before I said, I'm in, you know, and that was it.
What are some of the challenges of making this film, obviously on a very low budget, in the middle of nowhere?
Before I do this, there's some people in the audience, I should have done this right when I came up, but there's a lot of people who worked on this movie. We should just have them all come up just because.
Sure,
we have
more
some
the merrier.
awesome actors from the movie. If you had someone do this movie, just come up on stage. Jimmy Curtis, associate producer and fake chef. John Palmer played Jimmy in the movie. Chuck Doherty was Clancy. Tony Emerald was Clyde. And Sue Travers, who was Becky. And John Caloran, who was on DIT. Okay, I'm sorry, Tony.
Well, talk a little about the challenges of working on a limited budget and sort of the middle of nowhere.
The cold weather was one. You know, this movie was shot in around February, so it was about 10 degrees. It's about as cold as it was outside. It's actually warmer outside right now than it was when we were shooting this movie, especially since we're so close to the ocean. Another challenge was the practical effects. Everything was fucking freezing. You know, like Josh is covered in slime, but that shit, it turns into a glazed donut in like 10 seconds. It's rock solid, so you can't fucking move it. The blood is stuck to people. It's like pieces of a lollipop, you know, after about 10 seconds. So everything compounded into one, and then trying to make days in like 9 hours was, you know, and you can't shower anything with money. You just need to figure out how to do it with what you have. Which is something like about practical effects, because it shows up on set and it's not what you wanted, but you can adapt to it, you can make it work, you figure out how to shoot differently, you figure out how to make it, like you can see it right in the fucking monitor. So it's like, all right, well, you know, we can do this, we can make this work. With CG, it's like they plant it in, you get the scenes in from Belgium, and then, you know, that's that, so you're done.
Let's take some questions from you guys for our cast and crew of Almost Human. Some questions. Yeah, right here.
Favorite scene to film? Probably that whole closet scene with Josh and her in the closet, just because I had like 12 hours to do a page and a half, and it was very lax and easy. My least favorite scene was the gas station scene, because we had to do that whole thing, and at 2 p.m., it got dark at 4:30, and at 2 p.m. we hadn't started shooting yet. And all of our lenses broke, and I had one long lens to film that entire scene.
It was so cold that day.
Everybody was inside the gas station. It was fucking...
Okay, some more questions from you guys. Yeah, right here.
How long ago was this shot?
How long was the shoot?
How long ago was this shot?
Oh, this was shot we were shooting 2 years ago today, so we were on set, so it was about 2 years ago. We shot in February 2012.
And are you looking at a wide theatrical on this, or like
No, you know, we're doing like main cities and VOD at the same time. You know, New York, LA, Chicago, Toronto, Boston. I don't think the movie would work as a wide release anyway, just because it's such a small budget thing. So I'm really happy with, you know, the fact that it's going to happen.
good job?
Well, thank you.
Okay, some more questions. Yeah, right there.
Are you waiting to tell us about Rob for part 2? The guy
Actually, like,
You're going to find out about Rob in about 10 seconds with this bumper that we have up here. So the character of Rob, I was actually supposed to have a newscast during the credits that explained that Mark was found and Rob wasn't. He was still missing. You see his picture, then all of a sudden he wakes up in the woods. Didn't have time to do that. I also wasn't able to actually cast anybody as Rob, so it was our second AD. And so it was like, you know what, we'll just hope that nobody notices. And we actually need more runtime, so let's put that footage at the end of the movie after our 9-minute credit sequence that nobody's going to watch. So kind of give, you know, pros and cons.
Some more questions for our panel. Yeah, Shay.
Did your ABCs of Death short help you in getting this money together to make this movie? Or was that totally a separate issue?
Well, I didn't actually have an ABC's of Death short. I made one as like a fan that was submitted, and it didn't help at all. I mean, I was able to show people, oh, look, here's Rob. I was able to show people. There it is.
One more slimy naked guy.
I was able to show our crew to be like, hey, look, I made something before that's at least technically efficient. So it was that. But raising money, the seed money was me and Josh's credit cards. And then once we actually had stuff in the can, we were able to use that footage that were cut together in our apartment to raise the money to finish the movie and get a proper sound design and get a proper score and all that. So, we kind of just started it and then didn't look back, I guess.
Was Toronto just a totally lucky draw that you got in there? You just submitted like a regular person and got
Our sales agent submitted it, and luckily Colin's a huge genre fan, and he just kind of got what we were doing.
Tell us how you created that alien whale that screams.
Well, Josh here is also the sound designer. So
Well, it's told to every single audience this. Everyone wants to know. It's just a pig whale. It's like a baby pig, just going wah, and then slowed down a lot, doubled, flanged, and chorused. And then we just play it in the absolute red of the beat meter.
our mixer's like, this is too loud, and we're like,
I would go to the mixing stage after like the other word stuff that I was working on to find Joe and our mixer, and they'd gotten so used to the room being loud that they would keep turning it down throughout the day, and then I would show up in the last hour and go, no, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And it totally paid off, because now it just hurts to watch the movie.
Some more questions from you guys. Yeah, right here.
The part where Clyde beats you up, was that like real or was it like a prop?
No, he was actually hitting me with it. No, of course it was. Obviously, it was stunted. What sucked most about that was the wooden floor in my parents' house. That was actually worse than Tony. Tony was pretty nice to me. He was pretty good.
I kind of wish it was real.
I mean, we were considering it.
Question in the back there. Yeah.
Where do you go if you come along to audition for one of your next films?
I don't know. I guess submit your stuff through a casting agency? Or, I don't know. I have no idea. We got all the cast, and everybody cast in here. We had a casting agent out of Boston, and they pulled people from New York, Boston, Rhode Island, everywhere. So, I guess just, we had people submitting who weren't even actors. So, I guess all you have to do is just submit yourself to a casting agency, and they'll spit you out there.
Where'd you find your makeup effects designer? And tell us a little about the creation of some of the gags in the movie.
Yeah, laughing. So there was like there's three makeup effects artists in New England, and we kind of looked at all three of them and decided who would be the best fit based on what we had. So we hired this guy Rob Fitz, who does a lot of second unit stuff on like bigger movies that come through Boston. He does a lot of stuff at like haunted attractions. He had done some other low-budget horror movies, a movie called Incubus with Robert Englund, which had some pretty decent effects. So we ended up going through with him, and like I said, the stuff is pretty complicated and big. So, even the stuff that I was asking a lot of him. So when he showed up and that wasn't exactly what we wanted, we were able to adapt to it and make it work as much as we could.
Do we have time for one more question? Shay?
How did you get the music and all the sound to sound so good? So often in very low budget films, everything sounds in a can or a box, and it's hard to get that dimension, but the soundtrack sounded completely...
We just hired a professional mixer, which a lot of independent movies don't do. They don't hire a professional DI artist, they don't hire a professional mixer. And almost half of our budget went to using a mixer to do it in True 5.1, to hire a DI artist who's actually done theatrical features to, make my cinematography look a lot more polished than it actually was. So, that's just important. With low-budget movies, they always look so cheap. So it was very important to us that right from the get-go it looked like something on a bigger scale. So we put a lot of money to post.
And what's next for you, Joe, and also Josh?
Hopefully an NC-17 telekinetic revenge movie. Or unrated, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. I wrote the script super brutal. I wrote it for Graham, and me and Josh will do it again. So hopefully it'll be somewhat of a reunion, and we can get that off the ground.
All right, let's hear it for the casting crew of Almost Human. And we got a special giveaway. Michael, do you want to talk about how we're going to do that? Or?
Joe's got some questions.
Okay, Joe's got some questions. We're going to give out some really super cool VHS copies of the movie.
So I have
Not even for sale.
3 officially packaged VHSs here that MPI did in a big box. Now, I've been doing screenings of this movie for the past week, And there's one question that not one single person has been able to get. And I think it's pretty easy. So, all you horror fanatics here, let's see if one of you guys can get this.
Raise your hands.
Yeah, if you scream it out, you're not getting it. Okay. Name in order. Hey, Graham's just mad because he couldn't do it. Name in order every John Carpenter theatrical movie between 1976 and 1986. Come on! No, if I see somebody with a cell phone, you're not getting it either.
Yeah, right here, Brian.
Between when? 1976?
76.
76 and 86.
Okay. Our count?
No, it's 74.
Precinct Assault on Precinct 13?
Yes.
Halloween?
Yes.
The Fog?
Yes.
The Thing?
Yes. Nope. Actually, no, you missed one.
Does he have to do it in order?
What was after that?
Well, which one did you think you missed?
Did I miss Christine?
Escape from New York, come on! Okay, who can finish it? Escape from New York.
And Christine.
All right, fine. Name 5 influences from this movie.
Raise your hand. Yeah, right in the back there. Go ahead.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Evil Dead, The Terminator. I'm gonna say Halloween.
I'll take that.
And
No more Carpenter movies.
an Alien.
I'll take it. Come get VHS.
The scene in the closet. You could say that was Halloween.
Halloween and Night Touch.
Name John Carpenter's last 3 theatrical movies, not counting award. All right, I'm out of questions.
Name one device. One device that is such a staple of horror films these days that does not make one appearance in this movie.
Cell phone.
Yes! CGI. I'll give it to you for CGI. First your head. Go ahead, Graham.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes, you do.
I'm pretty smart. All right. I know. God damn. Name.
Name 3 films that have been scored by the band on your shirt.
Wait, what?
Name 3 films that have had their soundtracks performed by the band on your shirt.
That's a good question. Yeah, all right. Great. Name, not you, though. No. name 3 films scored by the band on my shirt.
No more Argento.
Oh, no, there's not. Dude, there's one that's really easy.
Don't call out any answers. Let him work on it.
Yeah,
You gotta do it, man.
good job. Jonathan did it. This man. Good question, sir. Good question.
He deserves a gift.
All right, guys, tell us the current release plans for the movie, where fans can find it.
Anywhere on VOD, PS3, Xbox, Hulu, Amazon, iTunes, cable provider. It's on Redbox, dude. No, it's not on Redbox.
Xbox.
The guy from IFC says it's Xbox on demand.
Right.
And
that's starting now.
Cable, yeah, as of
28th?
Friday, so it's available.
28th? This Friday. Available
it's already out.
everywhere.
Boston next weekend, Chicago the weekend after. Tell your friends. Good night.
Yes.
All right, let's hear it for Almost Human and IFC Midnight. Be sure and tell all your friends about the movie. Tweet it, go online, tell the world what a kick-ass movie this was. Spread the news. Almost Human is here.